All right, this video looks at the teacher, and you'll see these topics examined here. First, Brett Favre is in Minnesota. It's a great thing. Teaching is this. Here's the formula. Knowing, planning, doing, and reflecting. That's all it is. Real simple. Let's unpack those. First of all, teachers need knowledge. 4 types of knowledge. And this is based on a body of research. You'll see this described in all ed psych books, but they need content knowledge. You need to know the subject area, what you are teaching about. Special ed and elementary ed teachers, you have to have a lot of knowledge because you teach different subjects. As well, the onus, the responsibility is on the elementary teacher, special ed teacher. If you're teaching a unit in something, you have to go out and get knowledge. You must have knowledge so you know how to organize what's important and how to teach it. Pedagogical knowledge is knowledge of the strategies and techniques for teaching, such as cooperative learning, questioning, inquiry, direct instruction. Pedagogy means science of teaching. Pedagogical content knowledge means you know how to teach different subjects. You know the best way to teach reading. You know the best way to teach math or science. You know how experts learn these subjects versus novices. Pedagogical content knowledge. And fourth, you have knowledge of learning and learners and learning theory, and that's what educational psychology is. Not so much of that, a lot of that, and little of that along the way. But you'll see why this is based on learners and learning, and we could add teaching in there. Planning is the second part. Good teachers do it. Learning doesn't happen by accident. Winging it is for the birds. You can't rely on the strength of your personality. Good teachers plan their learning experiences. A body of research says it increases learning. More time on task, time not wasted. Organized body is easier to assimilate by the learners. And it reduces problems. There's a negative correlation. Planning goes up, behavior problems go down. Students not frustrated because they don't understand. There is no idle time. Planning, good. Doing, these are the teaching strategies, the pedagogical strategies, and performance, such as eye contact, voice, pacing, moving around the room. All of this. Reflecting is 3 parts. Evaluative reflection. How did the lesson go? Good teachers still have lessons that go down the toilet. The difference between a good teacher and one with growth potential is the good teacher says, how did the lesson go? How can I make it better? What could I have changed? The teacher with growth potential says, oh, those students, or looks at some other excuse. Good teachers always say, how did it go? Reflecting also has to do with theoretical reflection. Does this align with theories of teaching and learning? Does it align with a body of research? Does it align with what research says is the best way to teach and learn? Some people will call this dispositions as well, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. But reflecting is a type of disposition. Just wanted to put that in your mind. So what do you suppose is the most significant variable in determining how much learning goes on in school? What's the most important thing? Any of this stuff? Any of it? Any of it? Coming? No! It is you, the teacher. The teacher is the most significant variable in determining the quality of education. If we want to improve education, should we do all this? What's the most effective way? It is focusing on the teacher to improve education. Recruit, make sure we get or attract intelligent, creative, innovative, caring, dedicated, hard-working people in the field. This is no place for clowns. And then professional development. There's no program in the world that creates a finished teaching product in 3 or 4 semesters. We create teachers who have begun the journey, who are ready to learn how to teach. We can help practicing teachers develop the knowledge and skills to succeed, as well as to explore and identify dispositions, which we'll look at in just a minute. But professional development starts when you start teaching. It ends when you stop teaching. Those magic teachers that I have known are continuing learning to the end of their teaching days. To improve education, we must improve, or you don't must, but to improve education, improve you, the educator. This means both personal growth and professional growth. Indeed, the two go together. This is a very human endeavor. You cannot separate the human from the profession in this very human of endeavors. In most education programs we talk about, it's important that teachers have knowledge, skills, and dispositions. We are addressing knowledge, skills, and dispositions, and I think that's what NCATE looks at, Teacher Accreditation programs. Are you addressing knowledge, skills, and dispositions? Well, knowledge. What knowledge do students need to know? Or do teachers need to know? Well, there's some debate about this. Learning theories. Who decides which learning theories? Well, I'm including a couple that aren't usually covered in most classes. But knowledge of human development. Again, what areas? Cognitive development, social development, intuitive development, content area knowledge, teaching, philosophy. Yes, this is what a philosophy is. This is my philosophy. Ed research, and I call this the domain. General knowledge about the domain of education. Skills, as we said, pedagogy. You need teaching strategies and teaching skills. There's a difference between a skill and a strategy. Class management, skills related to interpersonal relationships, you and students, you and parents, you and other teachers, intrapersonal relationships, you with yourself, that goes to dispositions, and then planning, IEPs, school maintenance, and those sorts of things. And then the misty, smoky one, dispositions. Now, some people would put teaching behaviors under dispositions. I do not. A disposition is a state of mind which predisposes one to think and act in certain ways. That's how I use the term disposition. It has to do with inner states, your philosophy, reflecting to see if you align with your philosophy. It also has to do with what you value, your virtues and your character, as well as self-actualization, developing your full potential, your passions, bringing those into education, discovering and identifying who you are, which is called individuation, breaking away from society's expectations to discover the true self. We will be addressing this in Ed Psych. We do learning theories, human developments, and I like to do a little of that and a little of that. This is the end. Teacher, knowledge, planning, doing, reflecting. Also, to prepare a teacher, we look at knowledge, skills, and dispositions, and teachers at all levels and stages of their career should continue to focus on these areas.